Welcome to the Practical Prepper Network. Chaos is nearly upon us. Sadly, we inch closer and closer every day. I want you and your family to survive what's coming. We can't predict when the headlines will come or what they'll say, but we can act upon the failures that we know will follow. Power, water, food, communications, and human behavior under stress. This isn't about panic or politics. It's about building redundancy so your family stays alive when the world goes loud. Here are 5 ways to be ready. Number 1. Pantry and meds buffer. Disruptions hit shelves first. Your goal is 30 to 60 days of meals you already cook, plus the over-the-counter meds and prescriptions you actually use. Build it in layers. Start with 1 week. 7 dinners you already make, multiplied by 4 to cover a month. Then add breakfasts and easy lunches. Stock what your family will eat cold or with minimal heat. Rice, pasta, oats, canned proteins, sauces, oil, shelf milk, beans, soups, and morale foods like cocoa and crackers. Label the front of each item with a marker and rotate first in, first out. Add over-the-counter basics: pain, fever reducers, electrolytes, antihistamine, cough and cold, anti-diarrheal, stomach relief, zinc oxide for rashes, and any seasonal items your family uses. For prescriptions, keep at least a 2-week buffer if your doctor and insurer allow. Refill on schedule and rotate. Your targets for food should look like this: 2,000 to 3,000 calories per adult per day, 1,400 to 2,000 for most kids. Remember, calorie redundancy matters too, so don't shoot low. Things happen. Number 2, water and power redundancy. War can show up locally as boil notices, pump failures, rolling blackouts, and payment system outages. You need water storage, water treatment, and basic electricity for light and phones. Your water storage target: 2 to 3 gallons per person per day. Start with containers you'll actually fill, stackable jugs or a few 5 to 7 gallon cubes. Keep at least 2 ways to make water safe: a squeeze or gravity filter for particulates and a chemical or heat method for disinfection. For unscented household bleach, dose 8 drops per gallon of clear water. Double for cloudy water, stir, and wait 30 minutes. You should smell a faint chlorine scent. If not, add a tiny extra dose and wait again. A carbon element or leading treated water sit uncapped briefly helps taste. For power, prioritize lighting and charging, not whole house loads. A headlamp per adult with spare batteries, a dependable power bank, a small panel or vehicle charger to recharge it, battery lanterns for area light. If you own a generator, run it outside only, 20 feet from doors and windows, and never backfeed a panel without a transfer switch. And please be aware of sound pollution. If the whole neighborhood knows you're doing better than everyone else, problems could arise. Number 3, communications and information hygiene. In turbulent times, rumor spreads faster than help. You want clear signals, not noise. Make a simple comms plan. An out-of-area contact every family member can text the same short line to "We are safe at home. No power. Check in 12 hours." So phones stop dying under constant calls. Keep a small AM/FM weather radio on batteries. If you're rural, note the frequencies for local emergency broadcasts. Print and store copies of key documents: insurance, property and vehicle info, prescriptions, critical phone numbers. Maintain a small cash stash, enough for fuel, a motel night, and groceries if payments are down, even though the main money topic is not the focus here. Practice info hygiene. Pick 2 or 3 trusted local sources and official alerts. Check them on a schedule, and then act. Doom scrolling burns time and battery. Number 4, mindset and psychology. Under pressure, people don't rise to the occasion. They default to their training and habits. Your edge is calm, routine, and meaning. Set the tone. Slow is smooth, smooth is fast. Use simple scripts: first water, then light, then food. When the grid drops or news spikes, say the script out loud and start with the first action. Create tiny, repeatable roles so each person has a job. 1 checks headlamps, 1 fills containers, 1 pulls pantry items for the next 2 days. one checks on neighbors if safe. Build morale deliberately. A warm drink, music on a small speaker, read a book to your kids, a 5-minute stretch. It's imperative that you protect your sleep. Choose a one-room heat or cool zone and wind down at the same time. The household runs better on rest than adrenaline. For decision stress, use bounded plans. If X happens by Y time, we do Z. Example. If the outage passes 12 hours and temperatures drop below freezing, we move to the heat zone. If roads are open and a shelter opens 2 towns over, we go by 3 p.m. Write it once and stop redeciding every hour. Micro drill. Run a 10-minute blackout at night. Lights off, phones away. Set the room, make cocoa, read for 5 minutes, and end on purpose. Small wins rewire panic into competence. Number 5, mobility and community. If conditions degrade or authorities order evacuation, leaving early with a destination beats leaving late into chaos. Pre-decide 3 routes: primary highway, secondary roads, and a slower backway. Keep the vehicle on the half-tank rule. Top up when it hits half. Choose a real place to land: a friend's home, a relative in another town, or a hotel you could actually book. Stage 1 bag per person. 2 1-liter bottles, a squeeze filter and labeled bleach dropper, headlamp and spare batteries, 2 lighters, 3 contractor bags, and 50 feet of cord for fast shelter, first aid basics and personal meds for 72 hours, a warm layer, hat, dry socks, copies of ID and insurance, a phone power bank. For kids, add familiar snacks and a small comfort item. For pets, a leash or carrier and a small bag of food. Community matters. Identify 2 neighbors you will check on and 2 who can check on you. A text thread with people that care about each other is better than isolation. When the world falls into chaos, your family won't be lost. You'll run your plan. The pantry carries you through shock. Water and power redundancy keep the lights on and the phone alive. Comms and information hygiene cut rumor and conserve attention. Mindset and psychology stabilize the household. Mobility and community give you options when it's smarter to go than to stay. None of this requires heroics. It requires a few clear targets, calm drills, and the discipline to rotate what you store. Here's a summary you can take note of and act upon now. Take action on these so your chances of survival multiply. Get rocking on your pantry and meds buffer. Start with a target of 30 to 60 days of meals you already cook. Rotate first in, first out. Build your over-the-counter medical kit with prescription meds buffer as allowed. Trauma medical supplies. Water and power redundancy. We're talking at least 2 to 3 gallons per person per day. A filter plus chemical treat or boil, a headlamp per adult, battery lantern, dependable power bank, safe generator rules, communications and information. Sit down and write out your out-of-area contact card, get your radios squared away, print documents with a small cash stash, stay updated on official alerts, then act. Mindset and psychology. Simple scripts, clear roles, morale rituals, sleep protection, bounded plans with triggers to avoid non-decision every hour. Mobility and community. 3 routes, confirmed destination, half-tank rule, staged bags, calm 30-minute load, 2 neighbors you check on, 2 who check on you. Your mission objective sounds dramatic, but the solution is boring. Build the redundancy now, make your preparations now, and you'll be the steady one when the world collapses. Stay prepared, stay safe, and I'll see you in the next video.